We're starting the Maimer Kadoshim. So basically, in Adam Ki Yaakov and Adam Ki Yiyah, so there's two Nadim in Atzilus. There's the Eres Atzilus, there's Eres V'Kelim. If we speak the Dugma, we're speaking about, use the marshal of the Nefesh, let's say. So there is, let's say, the Keach HaChachma and Keach HaChesed itself. Chachma and Chesed. And then there is that you're able to his galas hanefesh through chachma, and his galas hanefesh through bina. When someone is saying a svara, let's say, or someone's mechadesh a svara, so besides for the keich hasecha that's involved there, that would be in the nimshal in akelim. So there's another aspect that you're able to have a certain insight in the what type of person it is. If a person's svara is, you can have a certain insight in the person that was masked that scholar. So through Seichel Amidis, you're able to have a glance at the nefesh, at the mocker of Seichel Amidis. That would be the marshal, the nimshal, the nekud of There's Eres v'Kelim. Kelim is the etzim inyan of Chachma v'Chesed. It's also inyan alaki. But the nekud is that Chachma v'Chesed is inyan alaki. We don't understand the beer, but there is that the lakus includes the inyan of Chachma v'Chesed, the inyan of Tzir. Eira Chesed is, the Nekuda is not Chachma v'Chesed is in the Nekuda is this Galus HaMakir, this Galus HaInseif, this Galus HaEtzem. This Galus HaEtzem through Chachma v'Chesed. Other thing you say when you get to Seichel Amidis, there's the Keich HaChachma, there's the Keich Nafshi. And then there is another aspect, that through the Nevesh is mislabish in the Chachma. It means that you're able to have a Hergish in the Makir through Chachma. That's a different union. So he's Masbir and the Adam Ki Yaakov, and from Adam Ki Yaakov v'Ikri is Mevayer, the different Efanim, how the Eir that even though the Etzim is Ein Sof, Pasha B'Dal Sapshidus, and the Eir Ein Sof, the way it is Mitzad Atzmei, which is the Eir, the Gilei Amakar, the way it is Mitzad Atzmei is Eir Mein Amar, so the Eir is Pshitas V'Tachlis, Ein Sof, and L'chor Atzilus is Eir is Mitziyarim, is the way the Eir is Mitztayr and Tzir Chacham V'Chez. Allah V'Keni says there's Adam L'Eliyim, different Biyurim, or because the Eir is Sam Tziyarim have a separate Makar L'Fnei Tzimtzum. Their Makar is the Esesir Sagnuzis, the Inin of the Eir HaGvul, or even it's Gilei Helam L'Gabe the Eir HaBligvul. Verschiedene Praten that he says there, but that's Ab Negeh too. When we're speaking about Eir, which Eir is the Izgalas HaMakir, in that the way in Tzaf comes in Tzir, not the Inin of Tzir itself, but that the Etzem is Mispashet and Misgada through Tzir. So that we're saying that in the Eir is Mitziyarim is Gilei Helam, it's Megala, the way the Inyanim are Be'etzem. The way the Inyanim are mitzad Eses Finish Lifnei Tzimtzum, or even mitzad the Nekuda Sabligvul, different pratim that he speaks in Adam Ki Yaakov. Adam Ki Yiyah is Mevayer that since the Iker Pchinas Adam is Kelim, the Indian of Tzir, Adam is Tzir, or Tzir is Shaykh Iker and Kelim. So the Muzzagan that also the Gabi Kelim, you say have this in of Adam Le'elim. Adam is also the Gabi Kelim. And that he says is only shaykhis legabi lifnetzim, legabi achretz, legabi ak, because lifnetzim, everything is called about smuse. The nekud of kelim is, we speak about Eir is this galus hamakir, this galus hamakir kameshu. Mashik in kelim is the way in the lakus is the din of tzir, the din of mitzias, of chachma v'chesed. So that's only shaykhis in the makir lifnetzimtzum when you have the hergish Eir, this galus hamakir kameshu mitzadatzim without the tunu of tzimtzum. So there's hulavadihu. There's only the makir. There's no nisinas magna for any mitzvah which is not the makir. There's no gather of chacham v'chesed. There's no type of concept anything besides for the etzim himself. In lifnat simsum is everything's called about smuse. It's the heder agdoras etzim. There's no tnu of chacham v'chesed as a mitzvah which is not the etzim, And the whole code of chacham of atzilus is the in of kelim is that chacham v'chesed as a tzir is in eliki. So that is only shaykhs la'achret tzimtzum. That is this almus hamakir. So that is a gather of chacham v'chesed. And that he says, Meir to be mevar difference between ak and atzilus. That in ak everything is in the kuda achas. And atzilus, Adam Le'eliyim, that in atzilus, in chacham v'chesed, atzilus is nirgash, that even though the way they are in ak, it's one kuda. It's bashva achas. But in atzilus is nirgash that in the kelim and atzilus are gilei helim for the way they are lifnei tzimtzum. When we speak about biyah, so biyah is a metzias. The metzias, the way it is here, doesn't reflect the way it is in atzilus. Mashik in chachma that atzilus, it's nirgash. One of the It's niggish. It's not inyani. It's not chachma. Inyani is a kavana. There's a certain kavana, a certain pshitas of a lukus, which is expressed through chachma. A certain mylin, a certain shleimus of insav, which is expressed through chachma. So chachma datzilis is his galus of the Indian the way it is not adam katman. That's the riches and adam kiyah. Pshit in the pratim. Yeah, das ist beifem klali the nekuda. Dabra called as bnei Yisrael Kadeshim Tihyu ki Kodeshani. So Lahaven Inan Asin Astam, but Amrik Kadeshim Tihyu. Why? Kodeshani was the Sheikhs. Eichis Chayev she Yitzir Kap of them Malakani. Say, why should it be Kodesh? V'alich ben Kodesh. There's no what's the shva between the Yitzir Kap of to the Beir. Mishkos of Yerachan. But Gam Shomer Zal Ben Deshav Hashem Kadeshim Pasuk Yisrael Lord is in a Taten. That Yehuda Bereb Simin Pasach Achrei Hashem Telechu. Is there a person should also be misasi b'tukma shalamayla? Means not that we should go literally achrei Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Meaning they should the same hanhagas shalamayla. A yid should do the same hanhagas shalamayla. Chay mitzvah same material lechus b'drachav. Mahuchan v'amrzal b'sifri u'berambam hu b'shulchan aruch habeinu zasim kuf nosef gimel shetzivanu liz damis libereni yizbarach. That means that there's a mitzvah to be mizdamet to the Eibishter. So what's the shayla b'chlal? We're talking about b'negei tanhagas, the same way the Eibishter is misnaik, a person should also be misnaik. Haleim gam heim atzam amru v'chi ef shaladich. So the shayla is, what's the beer? What's the sinastam? There's a mitzvah, let's say. There's a mitzvah natayr mahuchan afatachan. But here we're seeing again the sinastam. We're saying, why should you be Kedoshim ki Kodeshan? How's it in Islam? Even if you can explain that even though the Nivra and Beir is Bein Areich, but there's Meretach, the same when they get Acher Ve'al Kechem Telechon, the Kavana is not Mazal Gain, literally, the Kavana is Mahu Chanan and Afata Chanan. But still, what's the Snishkin is in Islam? How is ki Kodeshani? How is the reason? Ve'eish, in a Hilach Achrav, in Hilach Bedrachav, Ma'ur Racham Chulu, in a Deim Malaz Machnes Ekdush. Pieces on the design, we're talking about Hilach Achrav. There's a hilach b'drachav, the way the Eibishter is misnaik. It's not Deim to Kedusha. Kedusha is Avdalish. Mas Kedusha is Liyishan al hilach b'drachav. Koshkin edim b'chins hilach achrei avai. Can you move on? It's in the time shepnei Shiur Yisbar Hachodesh lechem Tihyu Kedoshim. That's the shayla. Means even though we find that there is certain yanim which are mechayiv and nivra to be kaviyachol b'doim alei Yisbarich, but it's still not a sinistam. Dala b'yurim is not a sinistam. B'frat amaret v'gadinin HaKedusha. Medrash is yochol kameini. Tamademri ki Kodeshani that Kedushasi l'mayla b'Kedushasi. Kodeshani is not a sinistam. It's a Kedeshim Tihyu. Was got to suck a daitach, you should be to Kodesh the same with the Eibishter's Kodesh. I'm not no ki Kodeshani. It's a Hachodesh that's my Kedusha is in ganzen moved, in ganzen removed, in ganzen higher than your Kedusha. But that's hepechapa moving by pasuk. Adar II is in a stam chulukana. That's the shayla. Hoping because it's like much as barely ill. That's still a sneaker adam. It's masber in the Meir before that fact that it's still adam adam elin is not only legabi air but also gam inside the kelim datzilis. Yes, from adam elin legabi adam kadmon. Nekudas abir is why they're adam elin, even though an actor one nekudim shaken atzilis there already in of esos is liyesh kvanes havu machshava gdumadag. And he's married in the eif and the way they're nasab. That an act there's two ksavas. On one hand, an act it's one nekuda. Atzilis and biyar one nekuda achas bashva achas. But leidach it's the elam is the way they are b'mitziusam later. It's not like you say in the Mashal when you get to Ratzin Kloli that in the Ratzin you only have the nekuda sadavar. In Ak you have the nekuda achas is the nekuda achas of the pratim the way they are b'ishtalshalos. Suppose matzil subchinas Hemshech mehelam agid chulu vat chulu bet mazrim mefir. Okay. So Pia now Yishleimar Pi wasn't born the Meir before. The Mashatzil is like kinin yitachin yeser b'zgas again matzil subchinas Ak. So still now he was saying be'etzem of Adam el is dafka legabi beikir neir. He says v'gam Yishleimar that also legabi kelim. Even though kelim is as chol sametzias, kelim is enough tzir l'gvul. So the chore kelim is enough tzir l'gvul. So it's it's meruchik from its marker. So Piana Yishlemer the Mashatzis Kinyan Yitachin Yeser in a certain aspect that Tzilis is more Adam Elin or more Kinyan, more in the Kaden than the way it is in the air. So the Kinyan is Bar Le'il that Hachodesh Hazeh. What's the gather of Kinyan Baruch Kainer Kinyan Isha Esam Hushay B'Shasam Eicher Baruch Shazakeh. There was no Shinui. Oh, so Dem steht dort, mit des Borsch, that means the Eisa Mahus, that's the Hachodesh. The same Mahus that was by the Meicher, their Mahus is by the Kain. This Borsch, there is that Tzilis, Ef Sholem Machine Eisa Mahus Mamish. The Eilan Elam Shavasas HaMatzel, Shari L'Malim Gilul. The Eir, the way it is, Misad the Matzel, Misad the Etzem HaMatzel is higher than Gilul. It's not higher than Tzir. In Atzilis, is the Eir, the way the Eir is Mesgala and Nirgash and Kalim. Eir is in Tziyar. Masha'ik the Eir, the way it is Misad Atzmas HaMatzel, not the way it's Mislavish and Kalim, so the Eir is higher than Gilul. He says it's Sosim Matavas Astimas, it's the end of Pshittis. Vizgalas, that Atzilis, Ribchan Sar Levad, Meir and Ela. That means in Atzilis, even though we were talking about his galus, the his galus ha'etzem, but it's his galus ha'etzem. He spoke about the two shittas before, but in Atzilis, when we speak about Eretz, his galus ha'etzem, the way the market is nirgash and tzir. Masha'ik and lifnetzim, so it's mer the pshittas ha'marker, the way it is be'etzem. It's be'en arech. It's not Eisem Mahus Mamish. El she'enim hos acher chas v'shalom. But Hashem is nikra kinef she'enim hos chodesh. Aval eine eisam hos mamish. He says, when they get to obviously the Hezbollah, he says, when they get to the reason why we're calling it killing, not because the etzem, the way it's misgal in kalim, is not the same hos as the way it is lifnei kalim. Because the way it is, that's mis pashav talas apshitis. And it's mushlo the nukud of kalim, the nukud of tzir. The whole in of both. Pashav talas apshitis. Masha'ik the way it's misgal in atzilis, it's in style. He says, to say it's a numahos, what's the nechuven of this earth? That the pshittis zazacher and echet kelim. So one hand, it's not another mahos, because then if another mahos would mean, inyani is tzir, inyani is not pshittis. Inyani is that the pshittis should be meir and tzir. But the pshittis, that the pshittis should be nirgash and tzir, and the pshittis kamei shu be'etzem is be'en arech. The pshittis kamei shu be'etzem is mushlo, the whole concept of tzir. He's beyond the whole idea of gedr gvul. And the pshittis, the way it's meir in tzir, gives somewhat of a tfizas makim to tzir. So it's not Eisa Mahus Mamish. It's not a Mahus Acher, because also in the Kudav areas that still in Yani is to bring out that the Eibishter is Ein Sof. But the Ein Sof, the way it has been Kaimi, is Shalei Be'erech in a higher Eifen. The Ein Sof, the way it's Mizgala in a lower Eifen. Even though the Mahus is the same Nekudah, that the Ein Sof should be Meir B'Gvul, that the Ein Sof should be Meir in Shiur, but the Ein Sof should be Meir in Shiur is already not the Ein Sof Kameshu B'Pshitusei. What does he want to say when they get to Kelim? Aber the Kelim is Shem Eisem Mahus Mamish the Kelim Gak. It's nicht kein zweiter Mahus. It's the same Mahus Mamish. See here, I mean, it's a general point. On one hand, the Kelim that Tzilis are in a certain aspect more weiter than the Sheirish, than their Sheirish, than Ak, than the way the Eir is from its Makar. Because Eir is not a separate. Eir is this Galas HaMakar. What is Eir? Eir is not a separate Metzias, which is Nishavim inside the Makar. Eir is this Galas HaMakar. You have the Etzem. The Kud of Eir is the Hergish HaMakar. This Galas HaEtzem. So Eir is that Tzilis in Yanim is not another. It's not another phase of reality. It's this Galas HaMakar. It's this Galas HaSherish. Mashikin Kelim that's Chachma. Chachma is not the revelation of something higher. Chachma is a Metzias. He says the Chachma is Nishavim. Sha'ol the word saying it. Ak is Pshittis. But Ak is a Ratzin Leilamis, as he says before. Ak is not Leilamis. But Ksha'ol Bert Sayne Leilamis, Misad the Ratzin Gevarn Leilamis. So the Ratzin Gevarn Leilamis, but Ak, Kudah Chachma is not this Galus HaMakar. Ak is a Metzias. Mitzad the Makar, there's a Metzias. O Chachma v'Chesed. Mitzad the Nefesh is Chachma v'Chesed. Mashiach Eir is no Metzias. Eir is this Galus HaMakar. But Le'idach is Galus HaMakar weird, that the Makar should be Nirgash in a Metzias, which is Bein Arech to the Makar. Atzil says taka is galas hamakar, but it's galas hamakar that the makar should be made of a nirgash weird in a mekabel, which is shalei be'erach to the way the makar is made, the way he's mufshis in the mekabel. So misadan nekuda is nishes alba mahos mamish. Mash'ink in kelim, the kelim that Atzilus and the kelim the way they are in Ak is the same mahos mamish. You have to see the product. Even though the nekuda of kelim is not the galas of the makar, kelim is a mitzias. But the mitzias, the way it is in the makar, is the same mahos than the way the mitzias is out of it. Is Yitzim and Amak. We should say in the Mashal, you have, let's say, Seichel is a Makkah from Midas. Midas is not the Izgalus of Seichel. Try to say that Midas are the Seichel shining. That's Midas. Midas are a separate entity. There's Midas and there's Seichel, and you have Midas Klulim by Seichel. So you're going to say that the midas kfishim by bezgalus, and the way we're saying it here is you have the midas haklolim ba'seichel, you have the midas kfishim by bezgalus. Even though midas are b'chlal not gilei seichel is a svara. That's gilei seichel. Midas is an additional mahus, which is kol and seichel. Seichel is a marker for midas. So you have the midas the way it's kol and seichel, and you have the midas the way they are nisgalev and nirgash b'leiv. The midas the way they are b'leiv are going to be this, according to this beer, will be the same mahus as the midas the way they are in seichel. Versteh the minyan? The same mahus. Kalim is not the expression of ak. It's not this galus. Kalim are mitzias, which are neshaba already. But the kalim, the way they are behelim, and the kalim where they come begili, is the same mahus mamish. Mash'inkin, you'll say mash'er hashemesh. Er hashemesh is not a mahus nifred me hashemesh. It's the fact that the shemesh is open, that the shemesh is revealed. It's not another mahus b'chlal. But even though it's not another mahus, but the way the makir is meir in a lower place is shnish dizal bezach where the makir is meir ba'atzmei. In a way, it's saying giving the pashtus svara, it's tali zebezeh. Since it is not the way the makir is a makir for a mitzias, the makir is ba'atzmei. So the minute you're dealing with its meir and a mitzias, you're not expressing the point the way it is b'emes. Mashek and seichel midas, the chatchilim midas are mushish, it's the chatchilim mitchilas is havus and they're gathered from mitzias. They're in of midas. So it's not be'en arech. It's not be'en arech. A certain way, when since is not another mitzias, which is this havim mitzad the makir. There's the makir himself, and he's bizgalus, he's bizpashtus. Is that so the makir, the sherish of the way the is bisharshi is not nisan makim to mitzias. Is this galus makir kameshu? Masha'enke the way it's meir and atzilus is not shel betachlis and mitzias. It's meir, it's mislavish and kelim. Even though the message is the same message as gilei makir, there's no other mitzias here. But it's the way it's meir for nirgash in a velt in a ilam. So shenish dizal bezach the way it is been kaided. It's not in gans shil some the way it is been kaided. Mashekin kelim chatchilin yadam is mitzias.
Is there is kelim nak?
Okay, both same way you have eres v'kelim. You have an ak didn't have eres v'kelim. It's not chayini, but that's a
You're comparing the kelim to
kelim the gabi sherish kelim and the gabi sherish. No, it's always going to be like that. It's always going to be like that. Eir is never a mitzias. Eir is not that the makir. It's not like you say seichel amidus. There's a seir. Eir is this gavus hamakir. Seichel leicht. That's another mitzias which is nichol and seichel. Seichel itself. Seichel is not. He also shines.
So you can't compare it to that.
So if there's the eir akav, the way it's meir and ak, that's not. You're saying that that would also be better. So even the air, the way it's meir when ak would be be yesh ma'ayin than the way it has been kated. No, the beginning of you're saying the air, the way the air is meir and ak. That's already air is in tziyarim. That's already air is in shaykhs. Good, it's not for that.
So if you're saying the kelim from tzilus and kelim to ak are...
But the gabi air is going to be bein arech still.
Even to ak?
Even to ak, yeah. Because air is always this galas hamakir. So the inyan, the way it is in ak, is the air, the way it is mudir, is mufshit from the type of yachas the ilamis than the way it is in atzilus. It's not eisam hus mamish.
So overall, which one's closer to its marker?
That's going to speak about it.
Okay.
Overall, that's right to them.
Saying.
What do you mean overall? He's going to speak different pratim.
You're saying it's not there's galus, so that's kasam, right? The kelim on his galus is marker.
No, but it's sheni. So how does the kelim begin? There's a mucker for them. So the mela, since there's a mucker for them, so it's not. So there's a kira between his galus and the mucker the way, and it's this Indian the way it was behelim. Mashiach and this tzir wasn't behelim. The way it was behelim it's had the mucker, so it was mufshet legamer from the tzir of that. Air doesn't be. It's not that the air is. There's air that silas and the makir contains this form of the air is the hascholas air is that the makir is not is the makir is the way it is ba'atz. Mufshit to mashaychas tamakal. And it's had the header akbal samakir. It could be misgal. It could be meir. So the air the way it is ba'atz from vanet stammt. Where's the sherish of air? Mitzad the fact that the makir is not mugbal. Not an additional vert. There's not the way the makir is a makir for mitzias. The makir is in its own element. And beside the fact that it's unlimited, so it's not trying to say it. It's here, it's not there. But when the air comes in a tzir that it's meir in a mitzias, it doesn't reflect the same emes the way it is b'shersher. Which b'sharshim, it's the way the makar is not nesim makom temitzis. Mashik in the air the way it's Meir Natzilis, it's not kfishu l'mayla mekelim legamri. Yeah, we'll see. I'm dashing. I'm just saying that it's. So look at the way he says it here. So the became Ishleimar. So the Gabi Air, he doesn't have to be married. He says Gabi Air. We should not get fear that the air, the way it is, he said Atzmas Hamatzel is higher than Giluk. There's Pasha B'Tachas Apshitis, and the way it's Mizgal in Kav in Kalim, it's already harder from that air. So usually the way it is Lamitas. The Kalim Ishleimar Shneisam Hus Mamish the Kalim Dax. It does get Hitter and Gleich Rei. The Hini Ba'ah Kvanis Havu Kalim. It's not the pshat that Kalim are not as galus. Kalim are mitzvahs, and this mitzvah is having a anak. Which wasn't Makvasham Sharal Sibir Beis. The Malekid, the Mayi Parit Akme and Sof. What's the mitzvah? So there's already Kalim anak. So what's the uftof about this? El Shabaa came in this galus mamish. Kalim Bashva mamish. In the Nikrip from the Chachma Levada, from the Sabin Levada, and Ak it's one mitzvah. It's one inni. It's one nekuda. But as God is this fit is that Silis who Shnivert up Chinas Chachma Levada, Chinas Sabin Levada. Chachma that Silis Bob from Asma Levada, Avali Eisa Chachma that Al Shnivert at least from Asma Bishar Sfiris. Mila this is an Asma from Mitzis, from Smiyat Erik, and Shwasam Gawat. He's going to the birth. Means the same way when you get to Midas Aklulim Baseichel. So Midas Aklulim Baseichel. If the midas way they are prat and seichel, it should lay better. On one hand, you're going to say it should lay better after the leif. Midas believe are structures, the spirals, and everything garden of midas believe are. Seichels are makkah for midas, and the cloud of seichels are makkah for midas. You have midas the way they are kolol and seichel. So the midas way they are kolol and seichel are shaykhs to seichel on one end. But leidach, it's the midas the way they're kolol and seichel. So however much you're going to be mafshit the kelim the way they are in ak. He's going to be marchip over the kelim, and since we deal with the kelim the way they are in Ratzin, our Ratzin is higher than the Tziur. What did I say before? Ratzin, the Dugman brings when they get to Ak is Ratzin Gali. Ratzin is not a chelik of the Tziur of the Dovran Ratzin. Ratzin is the Nevesh which is beyond the Tziur of the things that he wants. But the Ratzin is already a mucker for the mitzvahs in a certain way, and you have the mitzchachma the way it's called in the mucker. Chachma the way it's in Ratzin, that same chachma. Which is called in Ratzin, that same chacham is that comes into Kalim. Just to bring out the mashal. You use the seichel just to bring out this mashal. You say when you get the seichel midas that what's taka the beer? On one hand, seichel midas are two separate inyanim. Seichel is a makkah for midas. So seichel is a makkah for midas means you have midas the way they are called in seichel. So one is you're going to say the midas the way they are in the heart in the lave are a totally different than midas the way they are called in seichel. And I'm saying the fact that you could have midas akulon b'seichel means that the midas have an erech to seichel. There's the midas are if midas were be'ein erech to seichel, then how could you have a tzir of midas hakulon b'seichel? You see what I'm saying?
So you mean the midas in the heart?
Have some erech, yeah. I thought I was saying over here also. It's the way if the chachma datzilis is the same hus chachma as chachma the way it is in that. Because also Chachma Datzilis in Yoni is the same Nakud as Chachma the way it is not. It's not the separate thing. It's Chachma is Nichal and Ratzin. What are we saying? What did we say before? The mitzvah. Miyad she'ol b'rtzein and miyad nesab. What was nesab? Chachma. The inyan of Chachma begins in Ak. That means that we're dealing with It's not the pshat that Atzilis, that the tzir of the Mekabel exists in the Makkah. The Makkah is mufshit. Mitzad is Ein Sof is Meir b'kol Makkah. Mashiach here we're saying not Mitzad Ein Sof Ak is everywhere. There's a Ratzin for Elamis. And Mitzad the Ratzin is Elamis are Nichla on the Ratzin. So you have the Indian of Elamis having a Kudah, have a Ratzin within them. So that's a Metzias. And Kelim Datzilis are an extension of that Metzias. Kelim Datzilis are also the Sfiris Sharnavei Mitzad the Ratzin. We're not saying that the Metzias, the way it is in the Makar, is low. What we're saying is there's two aspects here. That the Lechatchila, Kelim begin in a place in the Makar which is a Keli for them, which is a Makar for them. Otherwise, Midas and Seichel. Midas are always a Mohus, Bifnei Atzmo. It's not the Skaldus HaSeichel. So where does the Midas initiate? Where the Seichel is a Makar for Midas. And so the mid, and then another point is that the midas, the way they are in Esgala, are behemshech to the midas we are in Seichel, which means that there's an erech within the Seichel and the midas. Oh, that's what we're saying here. Sheresh HaKelim doesn't begin mitzad the etzim the way the etzim is mufshit from Etzius. The etzim is mufshit from Etzius, there's no Sidus Makom for Kelim. There's him, and then there's an erech which is his Esgalus, his revelation. Mashiach Kelim are Etzius. So where does Kelim? Because there's a ratzin for Kelim. So Kelim begins with the fact that we're a makar for Kelim, and that means that, and the Kelim, the way they are in Atzilis, are the same mahus as the Kelim, the way they are in their makar. So the midas shebalev are not a total different phase than the midas the way they are in Seichel. It's that in the midas expressed strong. If it's a different host the gamri, so what's it been fardunen that midas hakulim b'seichel? We're saying that this in you have the way it is a prat in Seichel, and the midas the way they are belev are be'erech the midas we are in Seichel. That in you don't have any get to. Well, the Eisa Chachma the Ak shouldn't be spread Mishar. Just one come commercial as a kamei. Kama Eisa bin Zeraf min Yaakov Tevachs Betevas Baruch. Shmufat the manis based about the commercial. Eisa is mamish. Shay Betevas Baruch. Commercial is. Ja, aber gerade eine Kudes hat war mir da also in Maschine nicht für das ist wirklich sagen das mal gehen da. Chachma da Zil sie Eisa muss von Chachma da. Semos. And this mahus was called back. Now we starts going into so this you already have an you don't say that it's the way it is Nisgala. It's there's pratim in the which is not kveif in the care. I should going to get the care. It's the gamtik mishes is a clue back. Heise beginas pshitis beginas hataram tzias legamri ad shehoyu kulum yachad bashval chulu kanal. It's gas in beginas mitzias. Hine beginas pshitus vehadram tzias ba'ad. Zrak was the even such emotion. This is a little bit. Just even though I'm using the marshal seichel middle just to have it clear. It says that he's going the other side now. We're saying, on one end, we're saying that the midas, the way they are in Esgala belief, are the same mahus of midas than the way they are in Seichel. In the Kudas midas, you have Seichel, you have Chesed the way Chesed is in the Seichel, you have Chesed the way it is belief. The core is the same core, the same mahus. Ayle, Poil, Seichel, the way it is, the midas, the way they are in Seichel, are in the Seichel the Kaif. Let's say there's going to be characteristics of Seichel there, the way this way they call in Seichel. It says, but that's not Neveim mitzad the mahus HaKol Shom. That's because of where they're kol, not mitzad the mahus. That's there. Even there, the core of that mohus is midas. So the midas haneldim believe is the same mohus as the midas haklulim b'seichel. There, they're in a tziyur behesem t'seichel. It's this mohus in a tziyur behesem t'seichel. But even there, amitasi is not the fact that he's fit tziyur t'seichel. Amitasi is his mohus. Hemshech was saying before, midas begin because seichel is a makkah for midas. Midas are not the izgalus of seichel; they're an additional mitzvahs, which are klulim in seichel. So be'etzem uhusam are they in yonim is izgalus of seichel or yonim is midas? Be'etzem uhusam in yonim is midas. Elamai the midas the way they are in seichel have seichel tchunis kaviyol. But even though they're because the ascholosam is that seichel is mechayiv midas. That's the aschol. Seichel is mechayiv midas. So since the midas ascholosam is the way they're called in seichel, there's going to be a chveis. Tchunas of seichel, but that's not even the way they are klulim and kairam. It's not a mitis mohusam. A mitis mohusam is not the way they are in their makar. A mitis mohusam is the way they are in their mohus, because the whole vart of the makar is that he's a makar for them. The saying is that an act there's a ratzon for elements, there's a ratzon for spheres. The kavanah, what's the kavanah? The ratzon should be spheres. So spheres, the ratzon is mufshit from spheres. So the spheres, the way they are in Ratzon, are going to be in a Tunu of Avshata. The Dugmas Tunu of Ratzon. Not because that's the Mohos of the Kelim. Not because that's the Mohos of the Chacham V'Chesed. It's mitzad that their Mohos is Chacham V'Chesed, but it's mitzad that the Ratzon is Meir. That's not their Mohos. Mitzad Ratzon.
The Eden card is more like a tchum that it has.
It's like even in the makar, the etzem mahus is chachma. And the fact that it's bashva, that's because there's a the makar is made there. Not mitzat its mahus. Saying you use the mashal seichel midas. You have midas kulam and seichel are much more eager. What's their truth? Seichel midas are two different mahusim. So what's the truth of the midas? The fact that, let's say, they're in a mode of being cold, let's say. Is that nevea mitzad the mahus of midas, or that's because right now they're in a state of seichel? Even the mitzad their mahus, that difference is on a mitzvahs. Even the way they're klul b'seichel. Change the club.
Midah in the lave is the same thing, just in a different.
It's a mahusim. It's the core is the same. It's the core is the same. That's what you're saying. Because the whole aschol of midas is that seichel is a makir for something outside of it. So, the way the midah is in its makir, the pile it's going to be affected by its makir. Midas doesn't begin by itself. There's a makir for midas. But what seichel is not in a mode of expressing itself. It's seichel as a makir for something else. So the true content of that something is the thing, not the fact that seichel is kedoleh. The metzius is midas.
I missed that last part.
I'm saying is midas the revelation of seichel? No. There's a svara. What's midas? The revelation of the svara? No, it's that the svara contains within itself another mode of being. The svara contains within itself, once you understand something is good, you're also going to have a regesh. The regesh is not the expression of the svara. The regesh is another kayach that seichel contains. So this, what's the mahus of this kayach? A regesh, not this galas ha-seichel.
And that's the same.
Even the core, the way it is in the makar, in Yani is regesh. The pile, the way it is in the makar, the hergesh is the way seichel is a makar for midas, but that's not his mahus. The fact that the midah is bottled to the seichel, that's not because its mahus is to be in a state of bittul to the seichel. If I cared, the truth of what's going on is that seichel is a makar for midas. So the mitzvah, the mahus ha-midah in Yani is ava. In Yani is not ava and seichel. Numbers in the birth of the members. Like I said before, I mean, actually, Ratzin is mushit from the tzir of Chacham v'Chesed, and the way the Chacham v'Chesed are in Ak, it's b'chinas pshitas. But dugmas the pshitas of Ak. Ubez galas b'chinas mitzias Chacham v'Chesed. So hine b'chinas pshitus of a heder mitzius of Ak. Zoy Ak mitzad erin sof shemeir sham. Means it's Meir. It's Meir. What it is misad the makir. But that's not its most. What is it? Zarash v'neish l'kelim. The edis are named b'chinas ayin be'etzem. Shekulam b'mkelim. Ime yesh is amitzad mekayram, mikolam kem er be'etzem b'chinas ribeir be'yeser. Hainu adregen nefes. Be'efen achar mekmeishu achartech. B'chinas ayin betachlis. Ash inu v'gad gili be'emas. Gili rekar levadim v'nuchul b'kadam. Aber ba'kelim, when the kelim are klula b'mkelim, ein heder mitziyusa mitzadatzma. Mitzadatzma rei b'chinas mitziyus. Just have all these b'chinas mitziyus. See what he says here. In the way the is called b'mkelim, it's not that the way the is called b'mkelim, mitzad the makar is bottled. Avada, it's mitzad being in the market. But in Yani of is this galus hamakar. So the way it is inside the market, that's the Eir's Inyan. There is no other Inyan. When the Eir is called in Kairei, and it's Meir the marker in a higher Eifin, so the Eir is deeper bottle to the market. But that's in Yani of Eir. In Yani of Eir is to express the market. In Yani of Eir is not a mitzvah of Gilui, which is Nishav in the market. The whole nikud of Eir is that the market is mufshit from Gilui. But mitzad is Ein Sof, he's not limited to be in a form of hell. Maybe it's mispashit. So you say when the Eir is called B'mkeri, there is nirgash that Gilui has not tfisas market. The market is beyond Gilui. So you can see also there, look, in Yana is Gilui. The fact that it's bottle is because something beyond it is Meir. This beyond it, which is Meir, that's in Yana of to express the Makar Kameshu. That's the Nukud of that the Makar, the way the Makar is Be'etzim, that should be Meir. So when the is called him Kairi, I mean, it's Makar, it's more bottle, that's the Metzias of to express the truth of the Makar. Mash'ink in Kalim, the klal is that when any Metzias is called him Kairi. So since it's within the context of the Makar, it's bottle, but in Yoni of Kalim is not the Hergish HaMakar, not the Izgalas HaMakar. In Yoni of Kalim Tzadatzme is that the Metzias of Chochmah is Alukus. That's in Yoni of Kalim. Not the Hergish HaMakar. So the Hergish HaMakar is Davar Neisach. That's not mitzvah together of Kalim. So the in of Kalim Guf in Yoni is Chochmah Chesed, not Izgalas HaMakar. You see, Midas, the way they are in Seichel, the Seichel is the Midas are fully durchgenommen with Seichel. Is that in Yoni of Midas to express Seichel? That's not, even in Midas, the way they are in Seichel, that's not in Yoni. In Yoni, Mitzad Der Mahus is their Inyan. When they're in the Seichel's property, so they're bottled to Seichel. But that's not their Inyan. But Kelim in a header mitzvahs mitzvahs. Mitzvahs mitzvahs mitzvahs. Mitzvahs mitzvahs. That's lechatchila. They're mitzvahs mitzvahs. Zeh mitzvahs heavish mitzvahs mitzvahs kelim. Here is the mitzvahs mitzvahs mitzvahs. Kim these mitzvahs gila does that. The code of Kelim is this galus hamakir. Not a mitzvahs. Not an additional reality that comes out. That the makers al meir zeh. The makers is galus. Ubeshashim mitzvahs gila yatzah. But Kelim mitzvahs mitzvahs mitzvahs. The header mitzvahs mitzvahs the ersh meir behem. Vali. Shosam gamach. כשנפרטים שמסעל המאר נעשים מבחינת מציאס. כן, מן על זה ייתכן יסור לאמר הנה קיני. אז מילא מצד אחד, אז יסעזיר ממילא על זה ייתכן יאמר יסור לאמר הנה קיני. קיני, that's the same host. Means he's saying is, what's the code of Kinim? You have a Meir, you have a Lekeach. And even though the Indian is Aver, Mishan, the Rishusi, but it's the same host. What's the Rishus Lekeach? That becomes a Mitzis. It's the Indian is Nimshach and Elamis. So when you get to Air, it's Nish Zalbum Hos. Because the Air, the way it is Mimkeri, is Shel Betachtas Mitzis. When you get to Kelum Kemen Zogan, that is the same Hos Namish. Even the way they are acting is the mitzad der muhos der b'chinas mitzvahs. But the back I beheld them pulled back b'chinas b'chinas. Mitzad der ershe here begin. But still is galam helam. You harim b'chinas b'chinas nekaris and murgeshes. Yeah, mazana v'savaita. Dein Zorch Lahav in Hemshech in Gile Helam Bekeil. It's verkehrt. How's such a thing? By when you get to versteht man how das Musik Gile Helam? Because the whole code of is Gile Helam. Was in Kelim is a Metzias. So how is it Shaykh the in of Gile Helam Bekeil? Means Kelim are not a revelation of a higher Indian. Kelim is a Metzias. Ali Dua that cloud you have to leave the Sabbath Yeshmesh in Malaysia Ibn Sayim Be'emsa. You do a martial as a Mizriya Sagadin Ba'ar, you actually listen when it's Smicham, like Shiur got Chila of Yusuf, and Sus Lagam, Via, as Daf Katiyat Smich. Can make it a Beruchna, she actually is Havas Yesh Miyesh, Kim Shiur with Chila of Chinas Ainkan. Can any moving Havas Kilam, Mia, Karigamba, Akim Chinas Mitzis. Agam Sham Chinas Mitzis, calling the Etzim Chinas Mitzis from Israel Lil. Acha come that says if you can get Hanish Chinas Gilahelavan, the Echi Taran Shi Mitzis of Chinas Gileh.
If I make a keli from the block of soil else is behind, making like a yesh miyesh, like a keli from a matakas, it has to be also ayin. It's like a cloud.
No, that's not another mitzvah. You're making a form to this mitzvah itself.
Yesh miyesh means another mitzvah.
Yeah.
Why can't you say it's another form of the same mitzvah?
What?
Ak is Kalim is a different mitzvah. It's a new mitzvah. Yesh Me'esh. It's not the same.
Yeah, he said the Kalim, the Atzilus, the way they are Akers is Pshitas B'tachlis. So B'dugas, you can say the garden with the Ilam. To compare the taste, the way it is in the garden to the way it is in the Ilam. There's no Hashva. Even though it exists in a potential form in the garden, but it's not in the same properties Legamri, the way the taste and everything is expressed in the Ilam L'Payil. Here it's even more. Because even though, what he says before, that Spheris, the way they are in Ak, mitzad der mohos, mitzad atzmam, their metzias, he doesn't mean to say that mitzad atzmam, their metzias, L'Payil, with the way they are in Ak, they're b'chanas pshitis. They're behesim to the ratzin. Mitzad, the fact that they're behesim to the ratzin is the fact that they're b'chanas pshitis is mitzad the that's Meir, a higher dag of air which is Meir. The makir is more begidli there. Not mitzad der tzir. But the L'Payil, they're na'if and pshitis v'tachlis. It's not. You say that everything lamata is a mashal for Beiras Lamayla. Since the Kavanah Yen is that there should be begindish to made only, there should be a dias lakus lamata. So the Hemshech is not having the world in a way that there's the Inyan of Lamayla basically were expressed by Eza Eif and Shehu and the Nevrayim Shlamata. Say Mayim is here the Chavesim Makam Goel Makam Namo. So that's a mashal for Chesed for the Hemshech's Chesed. And the truth is that the Mitzvahs of Mayim, the Pteichen of Mayim is the stems from the Chesed Shalmayim through Shtashlis. So the same way the Ratzon Elyon is that the Zgalus Elokus and Eshes Firis there should be Yedias Gadlus Abeda by the Nevrayim. So al derech zeh, there should be the idea of the Eibush as Pshitis in the Nevrayim. The fact that the Eibush is in safe, which is the Pshitis HaMakar, that also should be Meir in the Nevrayim. And that's why there's none of Mevav to show B'chinas Pshitis. From that we could have a dugma, a marshal to the Pshitis Shalmayla. That's well, the Payil, the Pshitis is not a Metzias. Heder Metzias. So when you speak about the Shtalshlos and the Pshitis Shalmayla, it's not a real Shtalshlos. It's that the Pshitis is something which is Metzur. You could say that it's Mishtal Shalamata. You have the way it is Velyenim, you have the way it is B'tachtenim. Mashikin, Pshitis is one Mahos. You can't have two. There's no two Heder Metzias. There's no two. It's Heder Atzir. Heder Atzir is one Mahos. So you have one Eif and how the Inyanim of Pshitis, which exists, Inyanim of Ein Sof, of Pshitis of which is Galamat, is one way. And that's an Eif where there's no real Eschalkus because it's not a Geder of Tzir. Then there is, when you speak about in Tzir, so they have the Tzir, the way it is the Maila. The Tzir, the way the Maila is in a different form. And then you want from this Tzir to be in a Shtashla, different Tzir. So it's not as Gal Sehelim, then that's a Yesh Miyesh. The Chachma, the way it is in Ak, he says before, regardless of whatever reason it is. It's Nahayir Eifin. So Atzilus is not the expression of that. Keil and Atzilus are Neshava. It's not a direct Gilui. So if you have the way it is in one form, in order for it to come to a different form, there has to go through an Ayin Be'emsa. The tree is not the expression of the garden. It's because the garden is one form of being, and the tree is a different form. Garden is a tzir. So you have the tzir the way it is an eifin of makir, and you have the tzir the way it is an eifin of payil. There has to be an ayin be'emsa. It's not the hemshech to the mitzias. Out there, so you have chacham chesed the way it is an eifin of makir, the way it's bottled to the ratzin, and you have chacham chesed the way it is in mitzias, the way it's nizgal l'payil. The way it comes to payil, there has to be an ayin be'emsa. Because the way it is in the makir, it's a certain form. It's not heder. It's not heder on mitzias. It's in a certain form. So you call it yesh mi yesh if the makir is in one type of form, and then the zgalus is the way the Indian comes in a different form of being. So there has to be an ayin be'emsa. Means that a certain mohos which is beyond the Indian, the way it is bitzir in the makir should be brought out of here. If the way the Indian is meir and ak means so it's a certain form of chacham v'chesed. So and that's a different form, not the way it is natzilus. In order that from this form, so there has to be nirgash the amitis mohus of chachma v'chesed is just not mugder to the form the way it is not. There has to be the ayin be'emtza. And he says before that the mitzchachma, the way it is an act, a dozen is galig of you have the way they are in the garden, that but the chore chachma and elam is a different form. It's chachma b'fnei atzma, and this is chachma. The chachma is together with bina, a different sort of the mitzvahs. That was a kud of ayin be'emtza. The ayin be'emtza is where it's meir than a kud of chachma and bina. Not that it's not limited to this form the way it is in act and to the form the way it is in atzilus. Only with that ayin be'emtza you could have the yesh miyesh. So Hachodesh will say that it's gidei elam mamish. We'll start to see. What you learned this? You learned this a little bit. Huh?
I didn't personally.
Okay, it starts the whole thing. We could do this. We could do this Tuesday. No, it's good to start this. So what's the okay, learn a bit. Achenin hu dehine ksiv vayikra vaya vaya sheshbis shem savai. Yes, the shem avai dol satem shem avai dol leil. Pirish vayikra vaya vaya shekor v'himshech shem avai dol satem shem avai dol leil. This in we say al derech is saying before kelim that's zilus from kelim dak, but himshech avai dol satem shem avai dol leil. Eishim shem avai dol leil shem avai dol leil. He Shema Vayda Sat Shema Vayda begins with Hamsalach as Elmis and Ram Yesh. Zeh Shema Vayda Shema Havashim Makul Savas Elmis. B'Yudei why is it called Shema Vayda? Is Lo Shema Havi? Why is it? What's to do with Shema Vayda? B'Yudei is Savas Shema Ayin. So they doubted Eis Shema Vayda. Yud is Tzimtzum. He is Spashis Lachar. Tzimtzum is in the Volkibur Prati. Is the Indian of the Dal Eis Shema Vayda. Agam des Havas Hoya the Shema Lekim. Because of which is bar lekim. Come from tchilat tzarich li is tzimtzum ha'er. I did all this Shema Vayda. To lul is zeis lehef shalis is havas Shema lekim. Havas Shema lekim is that there's the Shema lekim is it shouldn't be meir the makir, but this havas that's in Shema Vayda. So Shema Vayda has to come on even that he's a makir for this havas. Come there's because bar lekim and kavan Shema lekim. Masim we don't have it. This havas Shema Vayda. Shema lekim like me magam and artik Shema. The way he says it Tulma is that in order for the Shema Lekim to be, in order for the Shema Vayda to be established, the Shema Lekim has to go through a tzimtzum. And then he says, Weiter, the Gamit because the word Lekim and the Shema Lekim, Masim Beram have it. This havas Shema Vayda. Shema Lekim or Akim Magim V'Nartik Shema Vayda. So the Mitzias Han Nivras must have the Mitzat Shema Vayda. The Shema Lekim is only that it shouldn't be meir in the Nivra the Eir. Kedakim Magim V'Nartik Shema Vayda. Because the Shema Shemagin Vayda Lekim. So according to the Shema Lekim is only a shlila. That the makkah shouldn't be meir, but the mitzias and this etzim in nice havas is mitzvah Shema Vayda. And for order for Shema Vayda to be a makkah, in order for the kus to be a makkah for his havas, even as havas the way it is without a magin benartik, but to be a makkah for this havas of a mitzias has to go through tzimtzum. There's no beauty kibavke. They can have a Shema Vayda. So in lamet kilam the shenas in the ran biyah shezeu eran shama de biyah shemzen nivra kelim the yutz firis de biyah. Gam that's the end of the he says the dal is Shema Vayda. Gam kol anivroim v'anitzon v'anas because of the Hachodesh Dibur Mask V'Yivachei Echad that mitzat the Dal Deis Shema Vayda that's the Ikrais Havos that's the famous Dal Deis Shema Vayda Lamet Kelim in Gimel Esis Kei Vav Kei Shema Vayda Shem Slav Shem B'Yalach Ila Veis Behind Tchilat Tzarich Lis Tzimtzum Erat the Dal Deis Shema Vayda V'Shuchol Yisavos Mayan Liyesh Chagik Yisavos Apelo Adi Gam Kol the Esis Yikam the Vayda V'Savshus V'Shem it's not Chazak that even the Achar Shema Lekim is the Aces of Kelim Avaya the way it's in Sabbath Shema Lekim. Let me see the ways in the Avaya the Arichis. Okay, we'll do it Tuesday. It's not good. It's different. The Nakuda is in the beginning of the Maimer is that not only that Atzilus is a Dam of the Elyon, also the Gabi Kelim, but in a certain way, Dafke Kelim, the Inyan Metzias, the way it is in Atzilus, is the same Mahus Mamash, the way it is in Ak. There's a bittul to the same way the Chachma of Atzilus is in Ak. the way Chacham is an Ak. It's the Nekudas Ratzna Eli and the Ratzna Gali, and that same Mahos, that's an Atzilus also. It's not a different Mahos. The Zelba Mahos. You have Chacham the way it is Mitzad HaMakir. And that's the Chacham that's Gali and Atzilus. Shaken Air, so the Inyan of Einid Mavada, the way it's Gali in the Makir, is not fully expressed in the way the Air is Meir and Atzilus. Okay, mentions in the Hemshech.